It's
Streets.
the terror of knowing what this
world
world
is
is
about.
Watching some good friends scream, "Let me out!" But tomorrow
Gets me higher. Pressure on. People on streets.
Da-na-na,
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
na-na-na. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Doing all right. Just very confused with today's weather. Honestly, this weather is more indecisive than me at a bakery shop, and that's saying a lot. So,
Yeah, I mean, it was literally up near 70 today. It is now in the 30s.
Yeah,
and now it literally was in the 60s like 3 hours ago, and now it's in the 30s. Like, what the hell?
And it's supposed to snow later this week?
It's supposed to snow in less than 48 hours. What is going on? I understand the old adage, if you don't like New England weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. But this is getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah. I feel like we've gone through all 4 seasons in the matter of a week.
In a matter of a day.
A day.
Yeah, literally in a matter of a day. We've gone through like 3 of the 4 seasons. Like, it's crazy. But we are back with another riveting edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. And tonight's episode I am very excited about because if you know us, you know that Kyle and I, along with talking sports, we love to watch sports. And we've, on many, many episodes on this show, we have talked about the various sporting events that we've been to both together and just in general in our lives. And so this past weekend, we had another amazing opportunity to go attend a sporting event. And it was a team that I hadn't seen in the last 2 years, and Kyle, it's definitely been longer. That he's seen this particular team. It was the Babson men's hockey team, which was very exciting. They were playing Norwich, and which is always a big rivalry game, and plus, it was the conference quarterfinals. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that. Mm-hmm. But before I get into that recap, and so I don't forget, which I almost just did, I did want to throw a special shout out to our sponsor for tonight's episode, Zyman Organizing. Zyman Organizing is the best. If you need a room organized, if you need a drawer, a desk, anything in your life organized, which, heaven knows we all do at times, some more than others. Zyman Organizing is there for you. They will work with you to create a space that you can be proud of and that you can be proud of showing off to others. They just do an amazing work, and we're so proud to have them as our sponsor, and also to have them as a sponsor for the other 2/3 of our YouTube trifecta, which is the Sports Blitz with Doug and I, which, by the way, just funny, quick side note, I promise I'm not, but speaking of Babson Hockey and the Sports Blitz, we actually, on the Sports Blitz back, I think it was about a year ago, had the head hockey coach of Babson College, Jamie Rice, as a guest on the Sports Blitz. And so it's kind of funny that tonight we're talking about going to a Babson hockey game where, there's sort of that tie-in there with the Sports Blitz and On a Couch Talking Sports. And by the way, shout out to Marvel at the Movies as well, Doug and Kyle.
I promise the new episode's coming out, guys.
New episode coming soon.
It's lagging, but
it's been a month, but it's okay.
We're getting there.
No, it's all good, buddy. I know it'll be amazing. Hey, sometimes masterpieces take time. It's all good.
Hopefully it's a masterpiece.
But yeah, so shout out to Zyman Organizing and obviously to Marvel at the Movies and the Sports Blitz. But getting back to the topic at hand, like I was sort of introducing or setting up just a moment ago, yes, Kyle and I were at the Babson Skating Center, which again, I had not been inside since basically exactly 2 years ago. It was February of 2020 when I attended actually the exact same round of the Babson Hockey Conference Tournament. which Babson lost, unfortunately, that particular night. But it was actually, the funny thing is, it was literally the night after the last college hockey game that Kyle and I had attended up until we went to the Harvard game back in November. So a lot of we talk about returning to normal. That it definitely was a very nice normal feeling to attending a Babson college hockey game, and we certainly had a great time. And what a game to go to, folks! I mean, you have no idea how epic this game was, as we're going to get into here. Babson won, which was awesome. They won 2-1 in overtime. All three of the goals were scored in either the third period or the overtime period. Mm-hmm. Norwich, just a quick recap of the game. Norwich struck first early on in overtime, taking a 1-0 lead. But then Babson, just a few minutes later, actually, they struck back with the game-tying goal. And it was awesome. Like, it was epicness. I do just want to confirm that I think that both goals were scored I think both of the regulation goals were scored in the third period. I just want to double check myself here, because
at least I'm pretty sure they were.
Hang on. Sorry, folks. I'm doing a little in-show research here, because funny thing is, I was live tweeting during the game, so I can kind of fact check myself based on my own tweets. But again, I'm a stickler for accuracy. Mm-hmm. It was both the regulation goals were scored in the third period, and then obviously the overtime game winner by Babson. So like I said, Babson amazingly moving on to their conference semifinals, and after, like I said, just a thrilling win in front of a packed house at the Babson Skating Center for that game this past Saturday. So Kyle, let's just jump into it. Now I kind of have recapped it. Let's get into the analysis part of it. Give us your thoughts, man, because I know you were like me, sort of going crazy during that game, and just taking every minute of epicness that was that game. Just give us your thoughts about the game in general.
So the game in general, it was interesting. The first two periods were definitely a bit slower, but
there's a lot of action, though. Even though there was no score, there was a lot of action.
Yes, or sorry, I meant to say they were a little slower on the scoring front, because literally they were back and forth. But to your point though, there was a lot of action in that. It, like, just the defense on both teams, I was just kind of like looking at that, and look, I'm no hockey expert, I know, but but just like looking at what was going on, like I could tell that both their teams really brought their A game, and they were both like just mano a mano, just like they were pretty much like, I'd say skill wise that game they were pretty equal. It was hard to tell who was going to win, honestly, because sometimes you see a game and. You see one team you could tell maybe is struggling a little bit, while the other team you could tell it was more ready for the game. In this case, it was just back and forth. The puck was going, like, wouldn't even touch any of the goals at this point. Like, it was just, like, you're right. It was just so much, like, back and forth, like, just action. And it was really interesting to see how really dedicated those teams were, like, really blocking all that stuff. And, no, it was a great game, and like you said, the third period, that's where it really picked up, especially. And I gotta say, the game-winning goal in overtime was incredible. I'm so.
It was right in front of us too. So
yeah,
if anybody out there has ever been to the Babson College Skating Center before, so Kyle and I, we kind of have our little spot. I feel like that we always like to go to, which is like right along the boards in front of where the concession stand is at the Babson Skating Center. And literally, it was that side of the ice where Babson scored the overtime winner. And literally, where the shot kind of came from was, like, right on our side of the net as well. So you could, you had, like, a perfect view of it. And then, like, the celebration was, like, very up close and personal. Like, they were basically right up against those boards, like, celebrating, which was awesome. And the wind agrees with me, apparently.
Yeah, windy out.
Yeah, seriously. Talk about the New England weather. But just to back up really quickly to one point you did make, I was really impressed by the goaltending.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, you talk about the defense. I mean, because both teams had chances offensively in those first two periods to, like, put goals home. But the goaltenders were, like, up to the task. The Babson goal, especially, like, some of those saves, I don't know how he made a couple of those saves that he made. It was, like, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And I mean, he kept them in that game. Even though he gave up, the goal that made it 1-0. After that, he like really was dialed in and like just really focused and was able to keep that a 1-0 game so as to allow Babson to finally take advantage and tie the game up there late in the third. But yeah, it was crazy. Like I said, I mean, there's no other word to describe it. It was crazy and epic too.
And just like the way the game-winning goal played out too. Was just I still kind of replay in my head, and I was even telling my friends this week at work, and just how I couldn't even believe how it like unfolded.
It happened so fast.
Yeah, and how like literally it's like like from what I remember, like literally the goalie was here, and the player just like went under the goalie and was able to like get the puck in the goal, and everyone
it was like I think there was like a shot, then like there was like a rebound, like kind of on our side, and you just kind of like tucked it in there again. It was so it happened so fast, like. It was kind of all a blur, like, from us as fans, because all of a sudden it's just like, it's like shot, goal, and then all of a sudden you just everybody going crazy. Like, I remember the celebration more than I do the actual goal itself, just because I think we were all going nuts over there. But it was just awesome. And talk about, Kyle, that, that environment. We always talk about, like, the environment of games that we go to. And, we've been to some pretty epic
that's right.
games environment-wise. That was right up there. I mean, that Babson Skating Center was packed. And it was a very intense, excited crowd, like all game long, which was great to see.
Yeah, like people really showed up for this one, and I don't know when Babson, was in any of those finals. But like, yeah, the fans were there. They really had the support there, and it's interesting too because Babson's one of the smaller arenas. But it's got a lot of character, and I really like that place. And there's a lot of and I like how there's a good amount of standing room because the way they do it there, pretty much all the other hockey rinks I've been to has like bleachers on both sides or some kind of
the circles
stands.
or
No. They can do the oval, exactly.
No,
That's good.
I was agreeing with you. So.
But basically in this case, it's weird because like there's only I think kind of in like the straight part of against the straight part of the rink on one side there's like a set of bleachers,
right?
But then you look all around and it's mostly just kind of standing room, so it is a little smaller. But I still have always liked that rink. I don't know what it is. Like there's just something about it. It's just like a very nice kind of simple. And I love the fact that you go on that side even without the bleachers. How we got those that really great view. You don't have to worry about assigned seating. You just go there and you just find a spot that works for you. And it's great.
And you're like right there, like literally, like sometimes you have to step back from like if the players are like checking each other up against those boards because like the reverberations like you kind of like tosses you back. It's so like close and up.
Yes.
Up close and personal.
That's true. So be careful if you guys try to bring kids along or whatever, But then again, it was funny because, like, I was looking at all the fans, like all the older and younger fans, like, on that side. They were really barely even fazed by it. Like, every time, like, the thing would come crashing this way, they were stand right there.
It's like old hat for them at this point. But and it's funny because, I mean, obviously, Kyle and I would say that probably the Babson Skating Center is one of the rinks that we've been to, like, if not the rink that we've been to, like, the most in our lives. Because,
sense.
Growing up, I mean, for me, growing up, basically the majority of my life in Wellesley, where Babson and the Babson Skating Center are located. Kyle, I mean, he's been in this area since, 8th grade, and we've been going to Babson games, and or even just, going to the Babson Skating Center, sometimes, like, I remember when I was growing up, I would go there to, like, skate, even though I couldn't really skate, like, we would, like, go and...
I can't skate either right now.
I used to take skating lessons or just go for, like, a free skate there or something like that. So, I mean, I've been to the Babson Skating Center, like, probably hundreds of times in my life. And, it's just it's a nice sort of, it's a small rink, but it definitely has a lot of personality to it, like Kyle said. And as someone, obviously... I remember, back when we were in high school, obviously, the Wellesley High School hockey team, all their home games were at Babson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The skating center back when they played the home games there, and I remember we would, I would go to a lot of the games. I know Kyle went to some games as well, and again, you just sort of get different views. I feel like I've kind of watched games at Babson from all different sort of corners of the ice, quite literally. The one funny thing I wanted to point out, sort of to a point Kyle just made, and he'll kind of know where I'm going with this in a second, but it was kind of interesting. It was almost like a little deja vu from a Babson hockey game Kyle and I attended many years ago, because where we were standing, luckily this didn't really impact us at all this time, but there was a puck that actually came flying over the boards and landed kind of close to us, and it just brought me back to a situation or a moment that Kyle and I know I've talked about on this show, where he unfortunately got a little caught a little puck to the back of the head.
A little bit, yeah. I kind of skimmed, I think it was actually, I think it may have even been the top of my head now that I think about it.
It was right around here.
Or was it oh, no, actually, no, you're right. I think it was back here, yeah. It just kind of bounced off, it ricocheted.
So, what it did, I'm going to use this thing as the post that we happen to be standing behind.
Oh, yeah, because you had a better view of it.
It basically, I wish I had a puck, but I'll just sort of use my hand here. Pretend there's a puck in my hand.
Yeah.
It kind of went like this, and then kind of just grazed.
Yeah.
It basically hit off the post, which kind of just happened to be standing right in front of it, and just kind of grazed. And
the crazy thing too is when I look back at it too, I don't remember it hurting that much. That's the weird thing.
No, you didn't realize that anything was wrong until you felt you just happened to put your hand on the back of your head, and there was blood on it.
Well, yeah, because I was oh, why is my hair wet? I don't remember getting any ice on me, and then I was oh, that's definitely not ice. Okay, well,
go deal with this. Yeah. But no, it's just kind of funny. Every time we go to the Babson Skating Center, that moment always comes up or is remembered by either one or both of us in that context. So. But yeah, it was a great game, and awesome. Like I said, a big time shout out to the Babson hockey team for their victory. I know that they are now moving on to the conference semifinals, which I believe they're going to be playing at Elmira on this weekend. So best of luck to them in that. But like I said, just a tremendous game and a tremendous return for us to Babson hockey games, which is something that I've been definitely missing over the last couple of years, and was really, really happy to be back at. So,
yeah, that's a good one to go to.
Kudos to Babson, and also very inexpensive too. I mean, literally $5 even for adults. It's $5 for
even for a quarterfinal game too.
Hey, even for a conference playoff game, it's $5. I mean, it's you don't get that any other place. You definitely don't get BC games or Bruin. Definitely not Bruins games. I mean, it's. I think actually Wellesley high games may be a bit more expensive for adults than Babson games are. It's really funny. But yeah, like I said, it was just awesome. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and we're so glad that we were able to take it in, Kyle.
Yeah, it was a very ice time.
Yes, ice baby. So definitely wanted to do a little recap of that game for you guys, and if you ever have the opportunity to see a game at the Babson Skating Center, highly recommend it. Great facility and great time always is had by all. So, by the way, actually, I almost forgot about this. It's kind of a funny tie-in. So, I was remarking earlier how Jamie Rice, the Babson hockey coach, had been a guest on the Sports Blitz. Mm-hmm. I mean, it actually was kind of funny to think that literally 3 guests of the Sports Blitz were in attendance at that game on Saturday, because Kyle obviously has been a multi-time guest on the Sports Blitz, Jamie Rice, and then I also saw Matt Noon, the Babson head baseball coach, who we also had as a guest on the Sports Blitz. But where I was going with this had nothing, obviously had something to do with that, but also had to do with guests on our particular shows. And on this show in particular, we had a guest several years ago. we had a guest come on right after the one of the Patriots Super Bowl wins. I forget exactly who it was against, and your disc is almost full. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get this episode in. So, Steven, our buddy Steven, who I remember came on via phone at one point, he actually is the PA announcer for Babson Hockey and was doing the game. So I just wanted to send a special shout out to him. So,
very nice.
So here's the deal, folks. I'll be completely honest with you. I really did not prepare a final thought for tonight. I don't really have a whole lot. So if you want to do a quick Sue's reviews, or else we can start to wrap it up here, because I don't really have anything prepared for tonight. I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot going on right now, so
that's okay. I'll just throw in a quick review of a movie that I saw recently called *Malignant*, which is a horror movie made by James Wan, same director as the *Insidious*, the *Conjuring* series. But make no mistake, this movie *Malignant* is not like those other movies. You're going in for a kind of a genre-bending horror movie, and the movie definitely switches gears a lot as you watch it. So it's not your typical movie. It's not quite as scary, and I think a lot of people were kind of upset that it wasn't scary like The Conjuring and Insidious. But if you want a good time at the movies, then that's the movie to watch. I love that movie. Like, I thought it was very underrated. So if you want to see a really just a good old just a kind of a very different take on a horror movie, and I really don't want to spoil anything. This is one of those you just kind of have to go into it with almost no expectations. Just check out the movie, watch it, see what you think, and yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, like I said, that is going to do it for this week's edition of the Sports Blitz. Again, shout out to Babson for their win on Saturday. Shout out to Zion Organizing.
On a couch talking sports.
What?
You said the Sports Blitz.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry if I did. Well, I didn't hear. Funny thing is I literally did not even know what I said. I thought I just said shout out to Babson for winning. I thought I was getting into it. I didn't realize that I already said it. So anyway, wait, when did I say it?
You said it before you said that.
Wait, I said this edition of the Sports.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
That's okay.
Wow, I am really just not paying it. I'm literally. I may be having a stroke or something. I don't know what's going on with me, because I literally do not remember what I said or said.
Yeah, you're part of two shows. It's all good. It comes natural, you know. It's all good. It's a reflex.
Oh God. Anyway, for this has not been the sports, but this has been this edition of On a Couch Talking Sports this week, which, again, want to shout out Babson, regardless of which show we're actually on. Want to shout out Babson for the win, and also want to shout out Zion Organizing for sponsoring On a Couch Talking Sports, as well as the Sports Blitz and Marvel at the Movies. And also, by the way, here on a Couch Talking Sports, like the Sports Blitz and Marvel at the Movies, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place, folks. Like and subscribe. Please ring the bell. We want to hear from you, because we are on a couch talking sports. Like, literally, we are sitting on a couch talking sports. But that is going to do it for another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And I hope that this episode is actually going to fully record. But anyway, until next time, folks, we will see you next time here on the couch to talk more sports. Bye, everybody.